Okay, cool. All right. First of all, thank you both for your time. I know you're very busy, and so I won't, take up too much of your time. But as I mentioned in my emails, I thoroughly enjoyed the class and just really learned a lot. And I'm still learning a lot. I even bought your book and stuff, so I'm still learning. Um, so I guess I have a question. I know I've made some revisions to my pitch deck that I had shared in the class, the Black and Mary. I was able to put together a financial plan using the template that you shared with us. And I know that you guys had mentioned like, oh, you could just, why are you said something to the effect of, why are you going the independent route? You could just go straight to a network and pitch this. And that sounds very great and fantastic. But I guess I was looking at like, okay, would mainstream want to see something like this? Do I have to, present it to them so that I would not necessarily make them want to see it, but just see the relevance of it. And I recently looked at Netflix's new season of Master of None. It's one of my favorite shows on Netflix. And I noticed that the entire season 3 is about a Black queer relationship between Lena Waithe's character and another woman. And I was like, wow, even though a lot of fans are disappointed because it's not the usual Master of Nuns, but I was just thoroughly impressed with it because I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to create a series, an anthology series talking about the love and relationship stories of Black queer women. And so I was like, well, maybe there is a way to just take it directly to network. And so I was thinking like, should I go the route of the buy-in? Because I know you mentioned that. And I remember when we were going over our financial plans, you had mentioned to my friend Chanel, because she wanted to do that, and she had put in her US numbers and then she had put in her buy-in numbers. And you were like, well, you're going to lose your US numbers because the buy-in is more so for domestic purposes. So I guess I was just trying to figure out how I could, fit that in my budget, because I was thinking like with OWN, that's who I would want to approach, because they, like Chanel was mentioning with the demographics, they primarily, cater to women of a certain age group. And I was like, man, this will be great on this platform. But then I was like, I do like the edginess of, being able to have no limitations with being provocative with my storylines, because that's what I'm known for with my web series that I did 10 years ago. It was very edgy, very provocative and everything. So I don't know. So
right. A lot of to unpack. Let me just give you some thoughts. First of all, you should approach every way to get it done, right? So you can do buy-on, and then you have a pitch deck for buy-on. You can do independent, and you have a pitch deck for independent, and you can do straight pitch, Netflix, Amazon, you name it. HBO Max would also be a great option for your show. And you do that. They will look different depending on where you're going. So you just have to be aware that you can't do one deck for all of them. Investors want to see one thing, networks want to see another thing. Buy-on is basically just a matter of, if you have the money to buy on the time, and is it a content piece that they want? Yeah. That's something, Jim can talk about in a minute. But the point is, you need to basically have 3 of them. The content part is going to be obviously has to be strong and has to be the same and has to show what you're doing, and the edginess that you were talking about, I think, is very important. So there is no doubt about it. So keep that. The finance part, I would adjust to where you're going with it. You can mention in a pitch deck with a network that you are aware of the options to have this finance, and you would have potentially access to such options, but you don't need to. Most commissions are about you doing the right thing and you doing a good idea and they jumping on it. So the most important thing I would focus on is your actual idea, the story, the characters. I mean, the stuff that's important.
Right.
And then the financial aspects, I would just add if you want to take this to an investor. And then I would add there what networks you're thinking of going to or streamers and why you're thinking of going there. So you just have to do two versions where one is more of a business plan, the other one is a creative pitch deck. Really, that's what it comes down to.
Okay.
So I wouldn't decide now, do I have to do one or the other? I would do all of it.
Okay.
Why limit yourself? Because you have the option to do it. You know how to do it when we're done here. We'll give you some feedback. I wouldn't decide this now because you don't know which way and which path is going to work. Because if the network says or a streamer says we love it, we take it, why do you want to bend over backwards to try to finance it independently? I mean, you can, but why would I say?
Right.
It's my thought.
Should I shoot like a I was thinking about if I did have to finance this independently, should I shoot like a, I don't know, a pilot or proof of concept pilot of the first episode?
I think that would be a good idea.
I think it would be a really good idea.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I think it would be awesome. But really make sure that it's a killer concept.
Yeah.
You don't want it to go the other way, where people think, oh my God, this is a great idea. And then they see the pilot, they're like, well, I thought it'd be something different. So you have to make sure you elevate. I mean, the many times, here's the thing, when we do pre-sales on these movies, we sell them based on scripts, right? Script and actors, right? And I cannot tell you how many times the movies come out and they're like, I wish something else happens. I would say 50-50. I mean, I don't control what comes out because I'm not the director, so I'm really relying on the director to do their job. But directors, they sometimes have flops too. I mean, most of my projects have meaningful directors and they're all known, but not everything a director does always works, as we know. So if you do it, which I think is a great idea, I would try to over deliver on,
yes,
on what you can do, so that you really, that this is like, if they're looking at the pilot, they go, oh my God, this is even better.
Yeah, it's got to be so good they can't turn it off.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, I did set to shoot the pilot, do a 6-day shoot in Atlanta, July 8th through, July 11th through the anyway, I'm going to be flying down there to Atlanta because that's where I want it to be based, the storyline and everything. So I was just like, okay, should this be the direction that I go? So I'm really glad that I got the confirmation that is a good direction.
Just really read that script, that pilot script, and make sure it is the best it can be, and cast these actors with, the optimal person that you can get.
Yes, I agree.
Them, really have them deliver on your vision and push for that very hard. This pilot has to be like blowing people away. Otherwise, it's a total waste of money.
I agree. Should I also look at, when I'm putting together this pilot, to have like some, notable talent in it? When I revised, and I can send that to you guys, I revised my pitch deck. I had put together like a wish list of actors that I wanted to work with. And so I know in Atlanta, it's a lot of, Black celebrities that are there, not necessarily for them to play the principal role, but to come in and just make a cameo just so that they're featured in my pilot. Do you think that that's a good idea?
I don't know if you need that. I think it would be better if you can aim for at least one of the leads to be a renowned person. If you can aim for that, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Out to have one of the leads to be someone with a name. Then I mean, yeah, if you have an additional cameo showing up, that's great. It's not going to hurt. But I think it's more important to focus on getting at least one of the dream cast attached. You can, and if the story is good and if the script is good, I think it's gonna work, honestly, because these women want to play this, especially because it's not known, it's not seen, it's not like your everyday thing. And if you make it juicy and you make the characters interesting and they can show range, as we mentioned in the class, I think anyone would want to play this, because that's all actors want. They want to show range. They want to show what they're made of. And you
Okay.
get people to do this. When they read the pilot script and they say, oh my God, this is a killer character, I so want to play this. I give you money to play this.
Right. I like that.
Because
I'll
that's
give
all
you-
actors want, especially, it's not just about the money, but of course it's about money. But I have to tell you that many actors I have worked with don't mind getting paid less or doing something for free. If it's something that inspires them, if it's something where they can really show their chops, and if it's something that they're asked to play that they haven't played before. A lot, because actors are all about that kind of attention, and in a good way. I'm not being critical. I think that's a good thing because they want to show what they're made of. And if you give them the opportunity to do that, they're going to jump on this.
You know, a lot of these actresses are the mom, the girlfriend, the best friend
So
next
true.
door, right? So to play something with meat on its bones will be very exciting to them, to Jeanette's point.
I agree.
And my other thing too is anytime you're doing something like a demo tape or a sizzle reel or, you know, pilot, is get the best DP and the best editor you can afford, because
Yes.
the DP will help you not just with the look, but will help you with directing, and the editor, a great editor is worth their weight in gold. Is all I can say.
Yes, that's another thing. Editing, very important. I mean, that's one thing not to save on.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Because
Okay.
they'll save your butt. They'll save your butt.
No,
Right.
but the pilot script is essential, and it has to, you know, deliver on every level, like on the tone, on the motivations of the character, on the relevancy. I mean, authenticity, which I don't think is a problem for you, but you have to really work on that pilot script to make sure it's like perfect. Get some feedback on it too. If you want us to read it, I'm happy to read it because I really want
thank you.
I want you to really nail this. And I want you to nail it in a way that it's for all the audience. I want to watch this. Jim
Okay.
wants to watch this. You know, I wouldn't limit it to just, I don't know, African American
Queer women. Yeah.
queer women. That's how I was thinking about the word. Because why? Why? I want this to be relevant to all the audience. You know, I think it's great that this is the kind of direction you're going with it because it's very today it's very subject mattery, but it needs to still entertain everyone.
I agree.
You have to remember that, you know, and that's why it needs to be edgy, but it needs to be heartwarming. It needs to be risky, but it also needs to be giving me a takeaway. You know, I wanted to deliver emotionally on every level that I want to be satisfied with as the audience, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So once I'm done with this pilot, what should be my next step as far as approaching networks and investors, or just do the steps that I'm doing now? Because right now,
I think already while you put this thing together. Hey, Papa Bear, what's going on over there? Yes, my dog has an opinion too, just in
I
case.
see. Yeah, he's so charming.
He has an opinion whether you want it or not.
I see.
Or not. He's like doing his thing. What is going on there? We'll play with you later. Bring me your little thingy and I'll play with you. Here's something. There you go. There you go. There you go. Whoop-a-la. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go.
Okay.
Where was I? I think it's not a bad idea to obviously send it to whoever you think makes sense at the network session. But do you have an agent? I mean, you've worked in the industry, so
I do not have an agent right now.
so I think maybe we can send it to maybe we send it to our agent, Jim, to look at, for example. Is that something good
No.
theoretically? But I would try to work with an agency if you can. If it's good, they're going to take it. Just needs to
Okay.
you know, agency is not a bad idea. And then obviously, you know, working with even a sales agent that does international and also does domestic would not be the worst idea. I would try to figure out who sells this kind of content now internationally or in general, you know, if there or similar content. Come here, Puppy Bear. Come here. What's going on? What's going on, Puppy Bear? I'm here. I'm all good. It's fine.
Just wanted some attention.
Want some attention. My daughter's dog that I'm babysitting, and he's very distracting, as you can tell. Very
Yeah.
distracting. I can't get anything done with him.
Adorable.
You know, earlier, go ahead, Jeanette.
You know, but so I would definitely take it wherever you can take it. You
Okay.
can once I see like the updated pitch deck, I'll wrap my head around where I would go with it first, and what I think would work. I might give you some feedback on that. I just need to think about it a little more. So let me get back to you. But in the end of the day, it's you send it to the networks that you want to send it to, but we need to make sure it goes there the right way and not
Right.
blind. So I'd like to think about that. Maybe another thing to address is maybe you can attach a showrunner first, that is a meaningful showrunner for this kind of genre, that if it's a good piece of content that they would probably, again, like actors like to attach to or would attach to. So let's talk about who that could be also when you send me the updated version.
Okay.
Options there. If maybe someone, I don't know, but maybe you have a list of people that you think would like this or could do this or should do this, something like that. And then through the showrunners, cross that bridge to the buyers, meaning the networks and streamers.
I was to get Eileen Aiken, the one that was the showrunner for the L Word, because I liked it her.
It was a great show. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
that's one show that I watched. Let me just see here.
And then she went on to be the showrunner for Empire. I thought that was, I love that crossover that she had. I was like, oh my, because I was impressed how she was able to, transition from a type of show like the L Word, and then she went and did Empire.
Well, it's all storytelling and it's characters in the end. I mean, yes, the L Word deals with a bunch of lesbians and all their drama, but in the end of the day, it's storytelling, it's drama, it's people.
Right.
Have a sexual preference, but it's not. That doesn't change the fact that they have lives like everyone else and they have drama like everyone else, and with the same bullshit and the same stories.
Right.
So,
right.
Come on, it's real. Doesn't really, life is not different only because you have a different sexual preference. I mean, in general, I would say.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But I think that's why she can tell stories and do Empire, which again, a lot of drama. A lot of big characters, same here.
Right.
I mean, you have the same in the L Word. Big characters, big drama, and Empire, same thing. So that is her signature. Big characters, big drama. So she knows how to write that. And if that would definitely not be a bad choice. There are, let me see here. I would think anyone who can identify with the sensitivity of it is definitely not the worst place. There are showrunners that are really good writers and are on the verge of becoming a showrunner, someone to think about. Maybe not for sales. Well, I don't know. I would think about that too, because if you can't get her, who would be the next person that you would go to? Right? So if you have on the L Word, someone who's written a lot of the episodes, that's not someone I would cast away either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
True. Very true.
Something like that. But I think a showrunner is definitely not the worst idea to open the door and help get this sold with a buyer.
Cool. So my steps should be now, okay, like I said, I'm working on this this pilot that I'm going to shoot next in July. Should I be just, sending my pitch to some sales agents who have experience with international sales? Like I had opened up an account with Sonando. So should I just be, doing some research?
I would first of all update your pitch deck, right? Let me look at it.
Okay.
Give me some feedback. Also write that pilot. Let's read the pilot and see if that's ready to be shot. I think that's what you should focus on for now. The Sinando has a lot of international sales agent and buyers. I would only focus on people that do have stuff that runs domestic. So who are the sales agents that are very strongly connected with domestic that have similar content? And those are the people I would focus on. And you would do that by looking at the shows that you like and that you say are similar to this, and who are the people or the agents or the sales agents that are selling this now, and who are the buyers that bought that. That's what I would focus on. So who bought the L Word? Who sold the L Word? What are other similar shows? Empire is also a good example. I don't know if it's sold through a sales agent or if it's owned by a network. I have no idea. But
Yeah.
those people that are involved in that, in the sales and distribution of the similar content, should be the people that you should contact.
Okay,
You can
good
get
idea.
information, I think, on IMDb Pro. And if you don't have their contact information on IMDb Pro, you can still see who they are, and then you can go to Sinando and get their contact information there. In many cases, there, but you know, some might just not have it. But usually it is one place or the other. I
Okay,
would also consider pitching it like at AFM, making appointments there with people, American Film Market in November. You know,
Will probably happen this year.
oh yeah, is it gonna happen this year?
It probably will. It probably
Okay.
will.
so I would do it then, so you have your pilot ready by then.
Yes, it will.
Wait, early in this conversation, the buy on time buy thing was mentioned, and you
Oh,
just
yeah.
need to know that for that, the two ways to get that funded is it's an investor or sponsors and brands. So you have to think about, you know, what brands are really going to be okay with this avant-garde kind of pushing the limit series. There may be some out there, like Monster Energy drink. You never know who might just get behind it. But you just got to realize that those are your two revenue funding sources if you're going to do a buy-on. And there aren't as many places for buy-ons in drama as there are for nonfiction. There's lots of places for documentaries and reality and things like that. OWN is one potential place that might do a buy-on because they're part of the Discovery system, and Discovery will do these. But it's going to be very dependent on, again, they're going to look at the script, they're going to look at the pilot, they're going to make sure that it fits where they are or where they're headed.
Yeah,
Okay.
have that conversation with them.
Okay, cool.
You know, see if they like it for that. But they might just like it because it's good, and there might just be a commission.
Yeah.
That would be dope too. That would be dope too.
Right? So this is definitely a place where I would try to sell it. You know, see who the acquisitions person is. Do an appointment with them at AFM, and pitch it, and show them and send them the link to your pilot, and see who you can get meetings with.
Okay. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Well, what I'm going to do, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, I'm going to resend you this pitch deck that I revised, and I'll send you, I'm just making some minor revisions to the script, and so I'll send it to you by June 1st, so you can just check it out.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Everything is registered, because I know you said that, make sure you register everything.
Good.
So yeah.
I mean, we're not the idea stealers, don't worry about that. But
Right. I ain't got no
myself
worries.
a Black African American, queer woman show anytime soon. So
Yeah, I got no worries.
but I still think it's a great idea, and I think if it's executed well, it's definitely timely.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you both for your time. Thank you, Jim. Thank you,
You're
Jeanette.
welcome.
You guys are amazing, and you all have a wonderful weekend, wonderful holiday. And
You send me that updated pitch. I can't wait to see it, and I'll give you some.
okay. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
dear.
All
Bye.
right.